Youth Icon of the Year. RP Sanjeev Goenka Group presents CNN News 18 Indian of the Year.
Hi there, good morning and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning into the Breakfast Club. I'm Kritsween Walia and this morning we have a very special lineup for you. We're going to be focusing on World Children's Day today, a very important theme. Some conversations that need to happen are going to take place on the Breakfast Club. In the studio, two very special guests here with me. We'll go across to them in just a bit. First up, here's what we're tracking over the next 1 hour. All right, this World Children's Day, our guests here are going to decode what it means to ensure foundational learning reaches each and every student at the right age. What it truly takes to build strong educational roots for every child. We'll be joined in by the studio with the set of guests who are going to talk about what work they put in every day to make quality learning a reality in the country. And then we will take you to a remarkable place, Pandem Café. This is no ordinary cafe. It's run by staff whose lives have been touched by Naxalism, including both victims and reformed former perpetrators who have surrendered and chosen a new path. It's a story of resilience, of rehabilitation and hope brewing together all under one roof. And many more such unique hubs of rehabilitation are shaping up in days to come. We'll go across to that very special story and a very special voice joining us this morning. And finally, then we go across to an inspiring person of interest, Sakshi Rawat, the youngest Gram Pradhan of Kui village in Pauri Garhwal in Uttarakhand. At an age when most are still finding their paths, she's leading her community with conviction, fresh ideas and a powerful sense of responsibility. That and much more coming up this morning. But first, it's World Children's Day and we want to use this as an opportunity, pause and reflect on whether our children are getting the kind of learning that really prepares them for the future. This morning, we're shining a spotlight on one of the many initiatives that aims to do just that, the Nipun Bharat mission. At the heart of this mission is the vision that shifts focus from just going to school to truly learning and building strong foundations at the right age. The mission, National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy, was launched in 2021 under National Education Policy, NEP 2020. It aims to ensure that every child learns fundamental reading, writing and math skills by the age of 9 years, that is by the end of grade 3 across states and districts. But why is getting the right foundational learning at the right age so crucial? Because if children don't pick up basics early, future learning becomes harder. Science, math, languages, even confidence for that matter. Early learning sets the tone for the rest of their academic journey. And so we will be touching upon this all-important conversation. And why did India really need this learning reset? For years, India has celebrated high enrollment, more children in schools than ever, but many were still reaching higher classes without basic skills. Then the pandemic hit, widening gaps, especially in rural and low-income communities. Nipun Bharat shifted the focus from schooling to real learning to fill in this gap. And there's solid science behind choosing grade 3 as the cutoff, which we'll go across to our guests for more. Between age 3 to 8, a child's brain learns the fastest. Before grade 3, children learn to read. After class 3, they read to learn. That's how it plays out. If they're missing this window, future learning becomes much harder. Neuroscience also calls this the inflection point where lifelong learning paths are shaped. Nipun Bharat's vision for next decade is clear and ambitious: to make every child proficient by 3rd grade by making a smooth transition from pre-primary to class 3. Training teachers in a better way, making inclusive classrooms with zero learning gaps, which will produce a smart future generation. Now that we know what Nipun Bharat mission is, how it works and why India needed it, the real question is how is it actually playing out on the ground? To give us that perspective, we're joined on The Breakfast Club by Shweta Sharma Kukreja, CEO and MD of Central Square Foundation, a non-profit foundation which supports the Nipun Bharat mission. Also with us in the studio is Vineeta Tyagi, a state resource group member from Ghaziabad for CSF with nearly 2 decades of experience as a teacher for children, foundational literacy and numeracy grades 1 to 3. Let's bring them in. They're with us in the studio. Thank you so much for being with us. Shweta ji, sabse pehle, let's begin with the basics. Why was this need felt to come up with something called FLN? What is the concept of foundational learning and why did it not exist before 2021?
So the basic need, like you've already articulated, is that all children at the very first step of their school education journey should be able to read with meaning and do basic math, plus, minus, multiply and divide. In many ways, this is not just the foundation of cognitive development. These are really life skills. Yeah. We're a proud digital country. We're a country of direct benefit transfers. The way we transact life, not being able to read with meaning and understand basic math operation is not just important for a child's academic success, but later for their ability to live life as a citizen in the country. Historically, what has happened is, rightfully so, after India gained independence and started prioritizing education as a core social issue, the focus was on building schools and driving enrollment. Even after the migration displacement over COVID, we are back to almost all our children being in school. So India does very good on enrollment. But unfortunately, the focus on whether our children are learning or not came later. There have been repeated assessments done by the government, by the civil society. Till as recent as 2018, ASER, which has been one of the longest running learning surveys, showed only about 21% children in grade 3 can read a grade 2 text, can do a grade 2 math problem. So children were in school, schooling was not being equal to learning. India is ambitious about what we want to be as Viksit Bharat. The demographic dividend will only get tapped when we solve for school education. And you start by getting the first step right. And that's where NEP 2020 radically prioritized early learning and the Ministry of Education launched the Nipun Bharat mission.
Okay, lovely. Ms. Vineeta, tell us now about the execution on ground. So how is a FLN course or an FLN classroom any different than a normal classroom? What are the key differences there and how have you seen that impact on children when they're using that kind of a curriculum every day?
Look, we are seeing a major difference. If we talk about the earlier classroom transactions and the present classroom transactions, it's totally different. आज आप देखेंगे, we have so much of learning material to be provided in the classroom, and the most important thing is that the teacher is transforming the classroom now. It's all because of the material, high quality material, useful material being provided in the classroom, not for the teacher as well as for the students also. The learning has become a fun in the classroom now. So this is the major change which has been like the credit goes to the FLN mission only. They have triggered the things, they have felt this thing that how we can change the pedagogy of the classroom, we can change the atmosphere of the classroom, कि लर्निंग एक फन की तरह से हो रही है, बच्चों को नहीं पता चल रहा कि उनको पढ़ाया जा रहा है.
और आपने ये रिएक्शन देखा है बच्चों में?
Yes, of course.
Responded in a far more, you know, I'm looking forward to my classroom suddenly.
Yes,
I'm looking forward to my classes. The subjects that I was running away from, that's changing for me. Have children come to you and said that?
Of course, ma'am. If we frequently we are visiting the schools, so now they knows us कि oh ये वाली ma'am आए हैं, तो they comes and say, ma'am, today what we are going to learn with this, and the teachers, those who are having a variety of teaching learning materials, print rich material, it is so फन लर्निंग कि बच्चे जो हैं उस चीज़ को इतना एंजॉय करते हैं, एंड दिस इज़ द मेन अचीवमेंट ऑफ आवर प्रेजेंट लर्निंग सिनेरियो कि लर्निंग इज़ अ फन. The classrooms are, the classroom teaching learning process is getting transformed, and this is the main thing where this is our main achievement we can say कि हम लोग आज टीचिंग लर्निंग को एक काम नहीं है, ये एक ऐसा प्रोसेस बन गया है जिसको टीचर भी इंजॉय कर रहा है, बच्चा भी इंजॉय कर रहा है. तो दिस इज़ द यू कैन से द ऑरा ऑफ दिस, द क्लासरूम्स, द स्कूल्स ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, दिस ऑल यू सी, जो कि शायद पहले कहीं ना कहीं हम मिस कर रहे थे.
Shweta, tell us a little bit about the partnership here. So, CSF is working with several state governments. What is that collaboration like, and how is it being taken forward to ensure that this initiative reaches as many schools across the country, states, districts, to the last mile?
CSF works as a catalytic partner both with central government and state government. For Nippon Bharat, we support 11 state governments. Our role is to help states take the guidelines of the mission, design and deploy a high quality mission. I think Vinita ma'am has already touched upon the aspects. I'll just lay out what the guidelines are and what that engagement looks like. The most special call out in Nippon Bharat mission is the focus on teaching, learning, the resources and the material. The mission has 2,700 crore per year allocated, out of which there is 500 rupees per child per year for teaching, learning material. Now, how does a state take these guidelines, integrate it into their academic program? As CSF, the stakeholders we work with is the Department of Education, which is typically headed by the Education Secretary. There's the Samagra Shiksha Office, which coordinates the funding for the mission with the central government. And at state level, there are institutions called SCERTs, the State Council of Education, Research and Training, which is the academic authority on the curriculum and the pedagogy. What we do is work with the stakeholders to help them design a mission which is relevant to the context of their states. It's done in consultation with teachers, state resource group leaders like Vinita ma'am, and it's relevant to the context. We always talk about diversity in terms of languages.
Yeah.
India has 22 official languages, but we have 121 languages spoken by more than 10,000 people in the country. And if we are talking early learning, we want to be able to reach all our children in languages in which they are familiar. So from giving a visible face to what we mean by Nippon, you'll be surprised, but till some years ago, we did not necessarily have a shared articulation on what should early grade look like. It might feel simple that I'm bringing it down only to samajh ke padna, reading with understanding and basic arithmetic, but these are really the fundamental infrastructure on which future learning happens. Setting the goals which are relevant for the language and the context, making sure there's relevant teaching learning material for teachers. There's focus on lesson plans and teacher guides. So as a teacher, you're making my responsibility easier and getting the necessary support.
So you're focusing as much on the teachers
as well as the classroom.
As you're focusing on the students.
Absolutely. And a core infrastructure to support all of this is assessments to make sure that when we do formative assessments within the classroom, when there are summatives run at the end of the term, teachers are also able to identify what the learning gaps are, and we can give support to the children during the academic year. In the past, what has happened is, it's very late by the time we realize our children are not learning. And then we get caught up in what is called a remediation game.
Is that also a challenge? Because typically it's very difficult to pick on how much a child is being able to absorb when he or she are in grade 3?
So while it is difficult, but a big part of a teacher's job is to what's called a CFU, check for understanding. I should do I should have a sense of, is my class keeping pace with where we need to be from a curriculum perspective, from a learning outcomes perspective. One of the biggest contributions that Nippon did was define a learning outcome framework, define what those micro competencies. A child will not read with meaning one fine day. The child will start with letter awareness. Then there are technical terms called decoding and blending. दो शब्दों को जोड़ के कैसे पढ़ना है, समझ के कैसे पढ़ना है. Knowing at what micro competency, at what sub competency my children need support, giving that support along the year so that when the child moves from grade 1 to grade 2, all my children are competent per the grade level.
Vinita ji, share some examples with us. You did tell us briefly that we've made learning a lot more fun. But how have you made learning a lot more fun? कोई example दीजिए कि बच्चों के लिए ये और interesting और engaging कैसे हो गया है?
देखिए, पहले क्या होता था, जो टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस होता था वो यूजुअली स्कूल से स्टार्ट होता था और क्लासरूम में आके एंड हो जाता था. बाय द टाइम दैट स्टूडेंट इज गोइंग होम, ही इज बैक एट होम. तो अब जो आप चेंज देखेंगे, there's a very good example. Recently अभी हमारे यहाँ मुरादनगर में डिडोली में एक स्कूल है. There's a girl child, Rahat, in class 2nd only. So she enjoyed these kind of teaching learning process in the classrooms कि अब वो इतना into है इन सब चीज़ों में कि she has taken that learning experience towards her home also. Like at home now just imagine the parents who are being motivated with their own child to learn how to read and how to write. She is teaching her own mother to read and to write. So this is the thing which this is our the most the experience that we are seeing, that classroom experiences at home also. बच्चे घर पे जा रहे हैं, they are sharing their things कि we are doing this, we are studying with the smart class, we are having that kit and we have so much learning corners are there. So ये सब चीज़ें जब वो अपने पेरेंट्स से एक्सपीरियंस शेयर कर रहे हैं ना मैम, तो this is the different kind of thing which is like earlier we were missing. Earlier the school was a place only for study, the home was the place only for playing and just having rest.
So are you seeing that change translate into parental queries? For instance, any parent who's now enrolling their child in a school, do you see them now asking, is there FLN, is FLN a priority for the school? Do you see that kind of awareness already?
Ma'am, actually in our district, our CDO sir has started an initiation for model PTMs we have started. So I would like to give an example of a school. In these model PTMs, sir has started making them more impactful, like invitation cards are being made on the, like Saturday generally we have a half of the day for these kind of extracurricular things. So that day they make the invitation cards for the parents, and the card has been given they have been given to the different parent, not like the my son is giving card and to me only, no. That cards have been shuffled and given to the different parents for the invitation of PTM. And in PTM, like there is no such PTM के आपका बच्चा ऐसे कर रहा है, ये कर रहा है, नहीं. We have so many extra things. We have walkathon in the school itself. They are seeing their children studying on smart classes, doing work on the smart board, and they are handling in ICT classrooms when they are sitting and doing work on laptops and desktop, and the parents are taking pics of their children. Just imagine the things they are showing it to their parents and their relatives and sharing and putting status of such kind of things. So this thing which proves that we have achieved something very great.
Shweta, is diversity a challenge? Because that one thing comes with every program that we're curating in our country. It's a diverse country. We're looking not just at metropolitan cities, we're looking at several states, across districts, village level to a certain extent. How is it that this program is being curated without compromising on quality, for instance, given the diversity which is out there?
Yeah. No, I mean, in a country as large as India and in an education system as complex as ours, diversity has to be one of the core design factors from day one. Yeah. The vision with which the Ministry of Education has launched Nipun is for it to successfully reach and create an impact in every government classroom with every government school teacher and student, right? So we are not just talking urban, we are talking rural, we are talking tribal, we are talking schools which also might not necessarily have all the infrastructure support system that needs. Because the mission is getting anchored by the central bodies at the state level, right? The SCRT, the Samagra Shiksha, the department. It factors in the language diversity, it factors in the context from which our children come from. Vineeta ma'am already spoke about parents being a very important stakeholder. For early education to be successful, it has to become what the government and the sector calls a Jan Andolan. We need more aware parents who not only responsibly enroll their children, regularly send the children to school, show up for engagements like parent-teacher meetings, school management committees. Those dialogues also create the spaces for that diversity to get a visible name and for it to get addressed, whether it's in teaching learning practices, whether it's even in continuous training and professional development of our teachers and education functionaries. Yeah. Because part of the diversity challenge also is where I come from as a teacher versus the students where they come from, there tend to be differences. And how does continuous engagement with the community, with the teachers in their training and professional development make that content deeper and relevant?
So is it too soon to comment on the success rate of Nipun Bharat mission, given it's just been 4 odd years and the deadline was set for 26-27? Do you think more time is needed? How have you weighed in on the kind of impact this mission and how far it reaches is going to eventually have on our economic and social trajectory? Give us data, back it with facts a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, just to put it in terms of data, right? Like by 2047, which will be 100 years of India's independence, if we look at the global workforce, 1 in every 4 will be an Indian. So we are not just contributing to the Indian economy, we are contributing to the global economy. No economic aspiration, no social issue, even if we talk in terms of sustainable development goals, gets solved unless India rises to the occasion. So that's just to give the context of how critical it is. You're absolutely right. 4 years does seem a little early to be talking about success. But I'll quote our Honorable Education Minister when Dharmendra Pradhan ji, at the 4th anniversary celebration of the New Education Policy 2020, I'm literally quoting his words, he said, early signs ab dikhne lage hain. So we are not saying that a 4-year mission in a country which has 26.5 crore school-going children, we are not at a stage to declare victory, but we have reached a stage where all the changes from the learning outcome framework to teaching learning material to teacher training and capacity building. And I'll again quote 2 of the largest data assessments that happen on student learning. ASER for the first time in 2024 showed a positive trend in terms of, I quoted the statistics from 2018 at about 21%. Both on literacy and numeracy, we saw a positive trend at a country level. The Government of India itself, NCERT, conducts a national assessment. The 2024 results for grade 3 showed an improvement. The numbers went up to 64% and 67% for language and math. And data shows that our grade 3 children showed better improvement than grade 6 and grade 9. So the focus on early learning of NEP 2020 under Nipun Bharat mission is showing green shoots of progress. And the government has actively been engaging on the idea of continuing the mission beyond the first 5 years. So exciting times, but will need sustained effort.
Yeah, will need sustained effort to keep up the momentum. And track the long-term progress and growth here.
Yes.
Vinita ji, just to make it again very relatable to every parent who's tuned in, everyone watching this, give us an example of a student whose progress stood out for you. Can be 1, can be 2, and what kind of challenges were they sort of putting out to their teachers in the beginning, and how has that changed for good? एक एग्जाम्पल दीजिए, उदाहरण दीजिए, ताकि लोगों को भी समझ आए, हाँ ऐसा चेंज दिख रहा है.
देखिए, for class 2nd I quoted the Rahat. Not in class fundamental classes, foundational classes, we have so many examples. Like there's a school in Loni block, Gadi Kataiya, and there's a teacher also, Miss Ruby is there. हमारे वहाँ पे आप देखेंगे up to the class 8th the students are driving into the societies so many things. मेरा नाम मेरे पहचान, like writing is important. A girl child is there, she has taught her grandmother of 90 years to write her name, and she goes to the pension office now, and instead of putting thumb impressions, she is writing her name. And the story was also published in Times of India. So ऐसे there are so many examples where the parents feel so proud to be part of our system now. और जो सबसे मेन चीज़ ये है कि इस पूरे FLN प्रोग्राम ने हमारे टीचर्स को इतना एम्पावर किया है, इतना गाइडेड
और काम भी बढ़ा दिया शायद.
नहीं मैम, ये पता है, ये एक टेबल के उस तरफ वाला थॉट प्रोसेस है. बीइंग अ टीचर, बिकॉज वी आर ऑल्सो द टीचर्स, वी आर गोइंग टू द schools, we are doing the classrooms, we are doing even teaching also. So you must have heard the term TG, Sandarshika, ठीक है, teacher guide. It is so resourceful कि now our whole 1 year planning has been divided into weeks, अब पहले ऐसा नहीं होता था. पहले होता था आपका half yearly, half of the syllabus being covered, then half yearly exams, then the child is going to be evaluated or assessed at the end of the 6 months. But it's not now, it's not like this. We have weekly projects, 25 week, the whole syllabus has been divided, and the whole week is divided into 3 days of teaching. One is for revision, and one is for assessment, and one is for remediating the students who are being left, पीछे छूट रहे हैं. उन बच्चों को उसी दिन जो छूटा, जितना छूटा, उसको उतना ही रेमेडियल उसी टाइम पर उतना शॉर्ट में जब मिल रहा है तो उतना जल्दी ही वो अपने उसको कोप कर पा रहा है. तो दिस इज़ अ ब्यूटी कि हमारी जो टीजीज हैं, दे आर सो मच अलाइन विद द बुक and workbook. Earlier, the teacher guides or the subject helping books were totally dependent upon the subject pedagogy. But now these modules, these teacher guides are based totally aligned with the book as well as with the workbook. Now the teacher doesn't have to go to the book separately, workbook separately.
So we opened our eyes to the reality on ground.
Yes.
It can't no longer be restricted to a set of rules which is not quite applicable. We've
Right.
opened up to the idea of how things need to change, rules need to change given where we are and what kind of students are we looking at. Thank you so much. That's all the time we have. Thank you to the both of you for this wonderful conversation. It surely tells us that investment in students and children, our younger generation, can never go wrong. It's the only right kind of investment that we must keep focusing on. With that, it's time for us to head into a very quick break. Coming up next, we shift our focus to another story of hope from Bastar, a new cafe brewing hope. More details on the other side on what this means going forward. We'll be right back.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
All right, of course, on CNN News 18, we are tracking Anmol Bishnoi's return. He is the wanted gangster who will arrive at the IGI airport. He's expected to arrive at around 10 a.m. and from there, as we were speaking to Arnima earlier as well, expected to straight away be taken to court. We are tracking his return. We're tracking all sorts of movements that are going to be happening, transfers and interrogations that are to follow as well. For more on this, we have Anshul live with us. Anshul, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, this is what we are hearing right now, that he's been removed from the United States. He's expected to arrive at IGI at around in about 45 minutes from now. What can you tell us?
Well, yes, Anmol Bishnoi, along with other illegal immigrants in the United States, have been deported from the United States, and it is expected that the flight will land over here in India at approximately 10 a.m. Then the immigration processes will happen, and by 11 a.m. it is expected that the NIA will actually go ahead and formally arrest him. Post that, he will be taken to a hospital where the initial medical checkup or the medical legal certificate would be made, and then eventually he will be produced in front of the Patiala House Court, where the NIA will seek further custody of Anmol Bishnoi, because remember, there are several cases that are being investigated against Anmol Bishnoi. One of the cases that is being investigated is by the NIA of the larger terror nexus that had come up, and how these gangsters who were operating from across the border were actually involved in carrying out several criminal activities out here, specifically in North India and also in parts of Mumbai. But there is definitely a competition between agencies at this point in time, because all of these agencies want to go ahead and interrogate Anmol Bishnoi, be it the Punjab police, be it the Delhi police, be it the Rajasthan police, or for that matter Mumbai police as well, whereas central agencies such as the NIA are all waiting hands on to just get access to Anmol Bishnoi, because he is one of the key links that needs to be interrogated before any sort of a complete investigation could happen. He has been involved in ordering the killing of Sidhu Moosewala. He has been involved in demanding ransom from various businessmen out here in the national capital. He has also been involved in the killing of Baba Siddiqui and the shooting that happened outside the residence of Salman Khan as well. So definitely there are several cases that are being investigated by multiple agencies, and as soon as Anmol Bishnoi will land over here, definitely there is going to be this race amongst agencies to get his custody and to interrogate him further. But definitely as good luck that he is being deported from the United States and he is being handed over back to India. Definitely a lot of investigations are going to be done, and definitely a lot of cases are going to be solved once Anmol Bishnoi lands over here in the national capital within the next few minutes.
Right. Arunima, Anshu has mentioned a few pertinent points here. Of course, we're going to talk about the interstate transfers and interrogations as well, but we are going to see a focus on specific cases, of course, Baba Siddiqui, Sidhu Moosewala, Salman Khan firing as well. However, there, of course, will be a concerted effort to map out this entire network and its finances as well.
So there is a gangsters FIR that NIA was probing, in which Anmol Bishnoi, Lawrence Bishnoi, all their other associates have been named. So the entire gangster terror network in Punjab has been investigated by the National Investigation Agency. The charge sheet has been filed in this case, which dates back to 2022. And Anmol Bishnoi's custody, once taken by NIA, will focus on this particular FIR, this particular investigation itself. If you go by the other big man who was brought into NIA's custody from the United States, accused of terrorism, accused of a high-profile case like 2611, Tawahur Rana. So in that case also, Mumbai police wanted to question Tawahur Rana, and it was given a chance to question Tawahur Rana while he was still broadly in NIA's custody. So a similar pattern could be followed here as well. Well, NIA keeps the broad custody of Anmol Bishnoi, traveling with him from one part of the country to the other. One doesn't really know how it will work out security-wise, because these are high-profile, high-target gangsters. There are intra-gang rivalries at work as well. Goldie Brar is a player in Punjab, along with the Bishnois, who originally their support base is Rajasthan. So one will have to really see how the considerations are kept in mind. But the security agencies are definitely upbeat that Anmol Bishnoi's custody for NIA will unravel who are the other players in this. Already NIA has managed to carry out searches across Delhi.
Welcome back. Well, sometimes the most powerful stories of change begin quietly in a region long defined by the shadows of insurgency. Bastar has unveiled a different kind of revolution, one that smells of fresh coffee and hope. Pandem Café inaugurated this week in Jagdalpur, and those are some of the visuals from there. This inauguration took place by Chief Minister Vishnu. This brings together an unlikely team, survivors of Maoist violence and the very cadres who once stood on the other side of the gun. Sponsored by the Bastar Police and District Administration, but finally managed by tribal youth, the cafe transforms rehabilitation. At this cafe, every cup tells a story of courage and beginnings of peace. First, we take you through reactions of how the public at large is responding to this initiative, and some of those workers there for whom life has taken a complete U-turn. Listen in.
मेरे को बहुत इस समय बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। फर्ज का विषय है कि इन लोग को बहुत रिसीव मिल रहा है। इन लोग जिन लोग भी समझ लीजिए नक्सलाइट से पीड़ित लोग हैं या नक्सलाइट थे जो इस समय कैफ़े में, पांडुम कैफ़े में काम कर रहे हैं, उसमें मैं कई लोगों को देख रहा हूँ, महिलाओं को भी हैं, पुरुष भी हैं, और मुझे बहुत गर्व महसूस हो रहा है कि जो हमारी सरकार है उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा एक अचीवमेंट काम किया है।
जो नक्सल समर्पण है, ये मुख्य धारा में लौटे, इनको रोजगार मिला है
जी,
तो ये मान सकते हैं अभी इनका भविष्य बेहतर है।
बहुत बढ़िया है। मैं अभी एक महिला से बात कर रहा था, वो बहुत खुश थी कि मैं नारायणपुर से हूँ, बताई उसने, और उसको मेरे को वो बता रही थी कि मैं शहर में आने के बाद मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, अच्छा महसूस कर रही हूँ वहाँ गांव से।
पापा पहले मतलब काम करते थे, उनके साथ में मिलके जन मिलिशिया के पद पे थे, लेकिन 2016 में वो सरेंडर किए। पहले हम लोग बीनता साइड रहते थे, बीनता भेजा में, और सरेंडर के बाद से हम लोग लौंडीगुड़ा में रहते हैं। जी, अभी हम लोग नॉर्मल लाइफ जी रहे हैं। पहले डर के साथ जीना पड़ता था, पापा को डराया जाता था, धमकाया जाता था और ज़बरदस्ती का उनको न्यूज़ यहाँ से वहाँ करने के लिए बोला जाता था। वो सब चीज़ से पापा परेशान होके 2016 में सरेंडर कर दिए। उसके बाद अभी भी नॉर्मल सा लाइफ जी रहे हैं, खेती वगैरह करते हैं, लेकिन अभी डर नहीं है सर।
मैं 3 मार्च 2016 को समर्पण किया सर। मैं 2004 में नक्सल संगठन में घुसा था। जी, मेरे को समर्पण करने के बाद पुलिस लाइन से भेजा गया सर अपना धर्मपुरा एजुकेशन हॉस्पिटलिटी में। वहाँ मैं 30 दिन का ट्रेनिंग किया। जी सर।
क्या ट्रेनिंग किया?
वहाँ सर सर्विस कराने का सिखाया गया सर। टेबल सेटअप, सर्विसिंग कैसा किया जाता है, ऐसा सिखाया गया।
कैसा लग रहा है जंगल से अब शहर की ओर?
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है सर। जी।
बंदूक लेके घूमते थे?
घूमते थे सर।
परिवार में कौन कौन है?
परिवार में मेरा 2 बच्चे हैं, मेरा बीबी है।
बच्चे को पढ़ाई?
जी, बच्चे को पढ़ाई बस्तर स्कूल में चल रहा है सर। जी। बड़ा बच्चा 12वीं पर निकल गया सर और छोटा अभी 12वीं में है।
कैसा ज़िंदगी जीना हो रहा है परिवार से?
सर अभी तो ठीक ज़िंदगी जी रहे हैं सर। पहले जंगल के एरिया से यहाँ निकल के आए हैं तो।
Well, it's a story that carries several meanings. So let's take this conversation forward. This morning we're being joined by Bastar Inspector General of Police P. Sundar Raj to really take us to the thought behind the Pandem Café, the visuals we've been putting out for you. Good morning, sir. Hope you're doing well. Sir, tell us all about the idea. Take us all the way back to how it all began.
Left-wing extremism is one of the biggest challenges, not only in Bastar region, but in few other parts of the country. Particularly, Bastar was the epicenter of Naxal activity for last almost 4 to 5 decades. Here we have a lot of victims of Naxal violence, and another important component is the CAD population who have been forcefully recruited into Naxal organization earlier when they were 12 years old or when they were 16 years old, when they are teenagers. So we have brought many of those cadres back into the mainstream, and Pandem Café is such an initiative to bring together both these components. One is the victim of Naxal violence, another is those who have rejoined the mainstream after decided to shun violence and rejoin the mainstream. So both these components have come together, and Pandem in local Gondi language, it indicates coming together to celebrate a new beginning. It is a local Gondi dialect language. So this Pandem Café initiative has been started under the guidance of Government of India as well as the state government to rehabilitate both victims as well as the cadres who have joined the mainstream. So this initiative has been started on 17th of November in Jagdalpur, and we are hopeful this will give a lot of hope to many more other cadres who are to join the mainstream and the victims of Naxal violence who are looking forward to start a new beginning and to lead a meaningful life.
So this is such a unique concept, but the sound of it is also a little bit of a challenge. Was it difficult? And if yes, to what extent, to bring together victims, their tormentors, all under one roof? How are these people sinking their decades-old bitterness? Tell us about this collaboration.
The victim of Naxal violence and the perpetrator of the violence, they are two extreme end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Because we have around 8 people working in the cafe who are victims of the Naxal violence. They have lost their parents or they have lost their properties. Someone have lost their limb because of ID blast. Or these kind of victims are there working in the cafe. On the other end are few cadres who are earlier very active in the Naxal formation. They were carrying weapons. They were recruiting young boys and girls. They are involved in many violent activities. So these two were on the extreme end of the spectrum, and bringing together of both them initially was a challenge, but we did a lot of counseling, we did a lot of soft skill training and all. So now both of them have gelled together very well, and they are carrying forward this cafe concept with a lot of enthusiasm and with a lot of interest. So they are really very well gelled together with each other.
Mr. Sundaraj, to top it all, the cafe looks beautiful, but yes, there's a deep meaning that it carries. It's today a symbol of healing and new beginnings. Tell us a few stories, if you can, personal stories, what you've witnessed, any stories of transformation.
Yeah, when initially we thought about this concept, many people they were concerned about how the society will accept a Naxal cadre who are earlier actively inside the jungle, involved in many violent activities. If today they are coming and serving food, or if they are preparing food in a cafe, whether the society will accept or not. But fortunately, we are getting a lot of positive response. One of our cook in the cafe, Virendra Thakur, earlier he was an active cadre. He was involved in many other incidents like knowingly or unknowingly during his days in the Naxal formation. But he decided to shun violence and join the mainstream, and we have given him training in the skill development college in Jagdalpur. Right now, he's a very popular cook in the cafe. The guests who are visiting the cafe, they are looking forward for this particular cook, and they are very happy about the dishes he is preparing, and he has become very popular. On the other hand, there's victims of this violence, Naxal violence, who are working as a cashier in the cafe, who is acting as a receptionist in the cafe. So whenever people listen to their story, it is a very inspiring story, because they lost their family members. They have been forced to flee away from the village because of the Naxal violence and all. But today they're standing there with a lot of confidence, welcoming their guests, serving them.
Okay, so we have success stories already. Mr. Sundarraj, you spoke of reluctance on part of the reformed cadre, those who have chosen this new path in life. What about the public? What about people, customers who are now slowly making their way to Pandem Café? How are they responding?
So far, we are getting very positive response. Not many people they are coming both to enjoy the ambience in the cafe, as well as to understand the concept. For this region, as I told earlier, this has been a big challenge, left-wing extremism. So people they were looking forward for an end for this problem, and now fortunately, a lot of positive happenings are taking place. The area is getting cleared up. Not many development works are being initiated in this area. The identity of Bastar region is changing, and this Pandem Café, it will be a symbol for the story of transformation. So that way, many people they are owning this cafe. They want to come and experience the events happening in this cafe, and they want to be part of this story of transformation. That way, the response from public is very positive and encouraging.
So you briefly spoke of the kind of counselling that was extended to all of those who have joined hands with the initiative. Tell us a little more about the support, the training, the mentoring that was initiated at your end.
Earlier, most of the victims of Naxal violence and surrendered cadres, either they have been inducted into security forces after certain screening process, or they have been provided any other private employment opportunity, or they do agricultural activity in their native villages. But this concept of Pandem Café is very innovative and new concept. So initially, when we conceived this concept, we decided to have a course in the skill development college in Jagdalpur. So we designed a curriculum for this course with the help of the local district administration and the skill development department of the state government. They have come up with a good curriculum for training, and we brought in many experts also from outside to train these trainees. So they have undergone 3 months training in the skill development college. They have learned a lot of soft skills as well as the cooking skills, and now they are able to present themselves very well before the customers, and they are able to have a multitasking kind of activity. Someone has been trained in cooking, but he or she is capable of doing the receptionist work also. Someone has been trained in housekeeping, but he or she is capable of doing the accounting work also. So that way, this Pandem Café is providing a lot of good platform for their personality development as well as their future career building also.
Oh, absolutely. I repeat, this is indeed a unique, first of its kind project, first of its kind restaurant that we're seeing in the country. But the administration has been dropping a lot of hints on how this is going to be replicated elsewhere. So tell us, where all can we see this initiative shape up next?
Right now in Bastar range, we have 7 districts. We are planning to start this initiative in rest of 6 districts also. After seeing the response of this Pandem Café in Jagdalpur, and we'll have like feedback from both people who are involved in this activity as well as like the customer feedback also, and the other like the certainty also we'll look into it, and if the model works out to be good, then we'll replicate in other 6 districts of Bastar, so we can provide more and more opportunity for other victims in remaining 6 districts of Bastar.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sundarraj, for the brilliant initiative and for really turning it into a reality and for sharing that all important story with us here on The Breakfast Club. Thank you for joining us. We head into a very short break. Coming up next on the other side, we are joined by a person of interest this morning. At 22, the youngest Gram Pradhan of Uttarakhand's Kui village has decided to transform her hometown story. We tell you how. She joins us in just a bit.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
All right, of course, on CNN News 18, we are tracking Anmol Bishnoi's return. He is the wanted gangster who will arrive at the IGI airport. He's expected to arrive at around 10 a.m. and from there, as we were speaking to Anima earlier as well, expected to straight away be taken to court. We are tracking his return. We're tracking all sorts of movements that are going to be happening, transfers and interrogations that are to follow as well. For more on this, we have Anshul live with us. Anshul, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, this is what we are hearing right now, that he's been removed from the United States. He's expected to arrive at IGI at around in about 45 minutes from now. What can you tell us?
Well, yes, Anmol Bishnoi, along with other illegal immigrants in the United States, have been deported from the United States, and it is expected that the flight will land over here in India at approximately 10 a.m. Then the immigration processes will happen, and by 11 a.m. it is expected that the NIA will actually go ahead and formally arrest him. Post that, he will be taken to a hospital where the initial medical checkup or the medical legal certificate would be made, and then eventually he will be produced in front of the Patiala House Court, where the NIA will seek further custody of Anmol Bishnoi, because remember, there are several cases that are being investigated against Anmol Bishnoi. One of the cases that is being investigated is by the NIA of the larger terror nexus that had come up, and how these gangsters who were operating from across the border were actually involved in carrying out several criminal activities out here, specifically in North India and also in parts of Mumbai. But there is definitely a competition between agencies at this point in time, because all of these agencies want to go ahead and interrogate Anmol Bishnoi, be it the Punjab police, be it the Delhi police, be it the Rajasthan police, or for that matter Mumbai police as well, whereas central agencies such as the NIA are all waiting hands-on to just get access to Anmol Bishnoi, because he is one of the key links that needs to be interrogated before any sort of a complete investigation could happen. He has been involved in ordering the killing of Sidhu Moosewala. He has been involved in demanding ransom from various businessmen out here in the national capital. He has also been involved in the killing of Baba Siddiqui and the shooting that happened outside the residence of Salman Khan as well. So definitely there are several cases that are being investigated by multiple agencies, and as soon as Anmol Bishnoi will land over here, definitely there is going to be this race amongst agencies to get his custody and to interrogate him further. But definitely as good luck that he is being deported from the United States and he is being handed over back to India. Definitely a lot of investigations are going to be done, and definitely a lot of cases are going to be solved once Anmol Bishnoi lands over here in the national capital within the next few minutes.
Right. Arunima, Anshul has mentioned a few pertinent points here. Of course, we're going to talk about the interstate transfers and interrogations as well, but we are going to see a focus on specific cases, of course, Baba Siddiqui, Sidhu Moosewala, Salman Khan firing as well. However, there, of course, will be a concerted effort to map out this entire network and its finances as well.
So there is a gangsters FIR that NIA was probing, in which Anmol Bishnoi, Lawrence Bishnoi, all their other associates have been named. So the entire gangster terror network in Punjab has been investigated by the National Investigation Agency. The charge sheet has been filed in this case, which dates back to 2022. And Anmol Bishnoi's custody, once taken by NIA, will focus on this particular FIR, this particular investigation itself. If you go by the other big man who was brought into NIA's custody from United States, accused of terrorism, accused of a high-profile case like 2611, Tawahur Rana. So in that case also, Mumbai police wanted to question Tawahur Rana, and it was given a chance to question Tawahur Rana while he was still broadly in.
Motorola Edge 60 Pro.
Hello, Moto.
Welcome back. Today on The Breakfast Club, if you're looking for some motivation, we will be introducing you to 22-year-old Sakshi Rawat, a BTech graduate who's just made history as the youngest Gram Pradhan of Kui village in Pauri Garhwal in Uttarakhand. Instead of chasing a city job after completing her studies in Dehradun, she made a bold and beautiful choice. She returned to her village to contribute to its growth. The villagers placed their trust in her because of her strong educational background, her fresh ideas and her genuine commitment to development. Sakshi's story shows growing trust in young leaders in rural India, and it's inspiring countless young people who want to make a difference. We want to go across to her this morning as our person of interest. Hi Sakshi, good morning. Thank you for being with us here on The Breakfast Club. सबसे पहले heartiest congratulations, बहुत-बहुत बधाई हो आपको. Tell us what inspired you to run for the position of Gram Pradhan at such a young age. इतनी कम उम्र में आपने कैसे सोचा इसके बारे में?
तो पहले मैं आपको थैंक यू बोलना चाहती हूँ. तो पहले से मेरा प्लान ऐसा कुछ था नहीं कि बीटेक के बाद मैं प्रधान वगैरह कुछ बनूंगी, और इंस्पिरेशन कुछ नहीं था, बस गांव से प्यार है मुझे और मैं यहाँ कुछ करना चाहती थी, दैट्स व्हाई.
क्या ये सिर्फ गांव से प्यार है उसकी वजह से हुआ? क्योंकि बहुत बार हमने देखा है कैसे यूथ जो आजकल की पीढ़ी है वो पढ़ाई के बाद अपॉर्चुनिटीज़, जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ के लिए बाहर जाना चाहती है, अपने गांव से, अपने शहर से, अपने देश से भी. आपने अपने गांव की तरफ वापस मोड़ लिया, क्यों?
तो मैं कुछ अलग करना चाहती थी और कुछ पहले तो मेरा ऐसा कुछ प्लान था नहीं. अचानक से मेरी फैमिली ने मुझे सजेस्ट किया कि ग्राम प्रधान के लिए तुम उठ सकती हो. तो अचानक से मेरा ये प्लान बना कि हाँ मैं कुछ कर सकती हूँ. और जैसे कि मैंने बायोटेक्नोलॉजी से अपना बीटेक किया है, तो उसमें एक मुझे पूरा फील्ड मिल जाएगा काम करने के लिए फार्मिंग में. तो बस यही है.
फार्मिंग के साथ साथ आपने ये भी बार बार बोला है कि आपका एक ड्रीम है कि यूथ आउट माइग्रेशन पे आप काम करें, आप इंश्योर करें कि लोग अपने गांव में, शहर में रुके, उस पे काम करें बाहर जाने की जगह. बट आप वो कैसे करेंगी? व्हाट विल यू डू टू इंश्योर दैट पीपल स्टे बैक वेयर दे बिलोंग?
तो मुझे 3 से ज़्यादा महीने हो चुके हैं प्रधान बने हुए, और अभी तक मैंने ऐसा कुछ शुरू नहीं किया है. जैसे कि सबको पता है रिसेंट में उत्तराखंड में कितना नुकसान हुआ है बारिश की वजह से, तो उसमें बहुत सारे रास्ते, हमारे यहाँ बहुत सारा नुकसान हुआ है. तो उसमें मैंने 3 महीने, इन 3 महीनों में हमने वही रास्ते वगैरह बनाए, ये काम किया. पर आगे जो मेरी प्लानिंग है वो फार्मिंग की है. जैसे कि अभी उत्तराखंड में बहुत सारे ऐसे रेजिंग फार्मर्स हैं जो कीवी की खेती कर रहे हैं, और ये फ्लोरिकल्चर में काफ़ी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. तो मेरा भी बस यही प्लान है कि मैं शॉर्ट टर्म से लेकर लॉन्ग टर्म में गांव वालों को फार्मिंग की तरफ ले जाऊं.
साक्षी, आपने बताया कि आपकी फैमिली की पूरी बैकिंग थी, उनका पूरा सपोर्ट था, और इसीलिए आपने सोचा कि आप ग्राम प्रधान के लिए खड़ी होंगी. पर कई ऐसे लोग भी थे खानदान में, परिवार में, दोस्तों में, जिन्होंने कहा कि नहीं तुम ये नहीं कर पाओगी. क्या ऐसा भी हुआ?
ये सुन के मतलब बहुत सारे लोग मेरे अपोजिशन में थे, क्योंकि उन्हें लगता है कि जो बाहर से एजुकेशन मतलब जो भी एजुकेशन लेते हैं उसके बाद उन्हें बाहर जॉब करने के लिए चले जाना चाहिए। गाँव में रहकर सबका भविष्य खराब होता है, वो ये सोचते हैं। तो ये सोच हमें बदलनी होगी, क्योंकि अगर हम कुछ नया स्टार्ट नहीं करेंगे गाँव में तो कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा। सारा मतलब माइग्रेशन होता रहेगा और गाँव खाली होते जाएंगे। तो यहाँ यहाँ से हमें शुरुआत करनी चाहिए, और मैं बस ये शुरुआत कर रही हूँ ताकि माइग्रेशन रुके और गाँव में लोग रहें।
साक्षी, आपने बताया कि आपके खानदान का पूरा सपोर्ट था, बट आपके गांव के लोगों के बारे में बताइए, स्पेशली कम्युनिटी एल्डर्स। डिड दे सपोर्ट योर कैंडिडेसी? क्या वो आपके साथ खड़े रहे या उन्होंने भी प्रश्न उठाए कि अभी तो आप काफी छोटी हैं उम्र में?
हाँ, बहुत सारे लोग थे जिन्होंने कहा कि इतनी छोटी है, इसे अभी से ये नहीं करना चाहिए, कैसे कर पाएगी। पर मैं मतलब हमने समझाया उन्हें कि धीरे धीरे मतलब सीख जाऊंगी। अभी 1 साल में सबका एक्सपीरियंस हो जाता है, तो धीरे धीरे कर लूंगी मैं। तो बहुत सारे लोग थे इस चीज के खिलाफ भी कि अभी छोटी है।
आपने कहा आपने समझाया लोगों को, कैसे समझाया? हाउ डिड यू कन्विंस पीपल दैट यू विल बी एबल टू लीड, यू विल बी एबल टू डिलीवर? उस पूरे फेज के बारे में बताइए, कैसे पहुंचे आप घर घर तक?
तो मैं ये ऑनेस्टली इसका आंसर देना चाहती हूँ, क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ मेरी वजह से मतलब मेरी जीत हुई है। उसमें मेरी फैमिली का भी पूरा सपोर्ट था। और जैसे कि मेरे पापा हैं, उनका भी पूरा सपोर्ट था इस चीज़ में कि मैं इसे मतलब सिखाऊंगा जो भी है। क्योंकि सिर्फ मेरे पे गाँव वालों को इतना भरोसा नहीं था शुरू में, तो पापा ने उन्हें कन्विंस किया, मैंने भी कन्विंस किया, तो हो गए।
साक्षी, आपने कहा बहुत बदलाव लाना चाहती हैं अपने गांव में। आपका पहला प्रायोरिटी क्या है? व्हाट्स योर फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी नाउ दैट यू आर अ प्रधान? हाउ विल यू रिटेन द यूथ ऑफ योर विलेज? आप एजुकेशन पे फोकस करेंगी, हेल्थ केयर पे फोकस करेंगी, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे फोकस करेंगी? आपकी प्रायोरिटी क्या रहेगी?
तो मैं चाहती हूँ एम्प्लॉयमेंट की यहाँ पे मतलब एम्प्लॉयमेंट हो यहाँ पे, क्योंकि मेन प्रॉब्लम यही है कि यहाँ पे कुछ रोजगार नहीं है। तो सबसे पहले मैं बस इंडिविजुअली यहाँ पे जो है फार्मिंग करूँगी, जैसे फ्लोरिकल्चर स्टार्ट करूँगी, ताकि लोग देखें उस चीज़ को, और धीरे धीरे इस चीज़ को मैं पूरे गांव में ले जाऊँगी।
और ये बताइए साक्षी, क्या आपकी पढ़ाई लिखाई ने, योर एजुकेशन इन्फ्लुएंस योर डिसीजन टू रिटर्न टू योर विलेज इंस्टेड ऑफ कंटिन्यूइंग एल्सवेयर और लुकिंग फॉर जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज आउटसाइड? आपकी डिग्री, आपकी बीटेक की डिग्री ने कितना रोल निभाया है इस डिसीजन में?
हाँ, तो जो मेरा कॉलेज है जहाँ से मैंने बीटेक किया है, वो यहीं पौड़ी में ही है। तो वहाँ पे जो हमने प्रोजेक्ट किए थे फाइनल ईयर में, तो वो उनमें जो मटेरियल था वो हमने वहाँ से लोकल से ही लिया था, जैसे कि पाइन लीव्स और फ्लावर्स पे। तो इस चीज़ से मैं इंस्पायर हुई कि अगर हम यहाँ पे ये सब कुछ कर सकते हैं तो हम गांव में क्यों नहीं कर सकते। तो बस वहीं से मुझे मोटिवेशन मिला कि हाँ, गांव में भी मैं कर सकती हूँ ये सब कुछ, क्योंकि इतना बड़ा फील्ड मुझे मिल रहा है करने के लिए, तो कुछ चेंजेस मैं कर सकती हूँ।
साक्षी, हम देख रहे हैं तस्वीरें और कितने खुश थे लोग जब आप ग्राम प्रधान इलेक्ट हुई, और वो सारी तस्वीरें हम चला भी रहे हैं। बट ये बताइए, क्या यहीं आप रुक जाएंगी? विल यू स्टॉप एट ग्राम प्रधान और देयर इज अ बिगर प्लान इन प्लेस? पॉलिटिकल फ्यूचर के बारे में सोचा आपने?
नहीं, मेरा कुछ ऐसा प्लान है भी नहीं, और मुझे पॉलिटिक्स में कोई इंटरेस्ट है नहीं। तो पहले मैं इन 5 सालों में जितना हो सके उतना करूंगी, और आगे का फिर देख लेंगे क्या होता है।
और साक्षी, ये बताइए जल्दी से, कोई ऐसा रोल मॉडल है, कोई ऐसा नेता, कोई ऐसा लीडर जिसके कदम आप फॉलो करना चाहेंगी, जिसकी तरफ आप देखती हैं और ऐसे आप काम करना चाहेंगी अपने गांव में?
वैसे तो मेरा कोई ऐसा रोल मॉडल है नहीं, और पॉलिटिक्स में तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। पर जिनसे मैं इंस्पायर हुई हूँ जब मैं प्रधान बनी, तो वो यहीं के लोकल फार्मर्स थे। कुछ लोग ऐसे भी थे जिन्होंने पहले बीटेक किया हुआ है और वो गांव लौट कर आए हैं। तो और कुछ ऐसे भी थे जो बिल्कुल भी एजुकेटेड नहीं है, फिर भी वो बहुत अच्छी फार्मिंग कर रहे हैं। तो मैं उनसे बहुत इंस्पायर्ड हूँ, और मैं चाहती हूँ कि वैसा ही काम करूं और हो सके तो मतलब और फार्मर्स हों हमारे गांव में।
How lovely, Sakshi. You know, we need to wrap up this conversation, but I have to ask you this. बताइए आप कैसे बैलेंस करेंगी अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ में, अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ में और अपने फ्यूचर पे? तीनों चीज़ों को आप एक साथ कैसे हैंडल करेंगी?
अब जब मैंने इतनी बड़ी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ले ली है 5 साल के लिए, मतलब जो भी है, तो मेरा पूरा फोकस इसी चीज़ में ही रहेगा और बस मैं आगे तो देख लेंगे जो भी होगा, पर फिलहाल मेरा फोकस इसी चीज़ में रहेगा कि कैसे मैं अपने गांव में एम्प्लॉयमेंट लाऊं।
Thank you so much, Sakshi, for sharing your story and all the very best. I hope the nation is seeking inspiration from you this morning. We leave that conversation on that positive note. Thanks for watching The Breakfast Club. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye-bye.
This is News 18 Network.